All right, Collin.
I thought about saying it again just to be funny.
Yeah. Collin said there's shit on his jeans, and he just washed these.
Like, you know, I'm one of those guys who, like, never washes jeans. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, these jeans I've had for about a year, and I think I washed them like 3 times. And I washed them, literally, today was the first day I wore them, and it looks like it was black bean juice.
Because you were making tacos.
Because I was making tacos.
And I was slamming
Taco Tuesday.
Not homemade tacos, but I was going hard on the Tula Taqueria.
I mean, you sent me that picture and it looked amazing.
Oh,
the
yeah,
chorizo taco. It's funny too because I bought chorizo for myself. I always do that. I always buy chorizo and corn tortillas and make those for myself on the side because no one else eats them. And I didn't do that tonight because I was very stoked with the way my chicken turned out. I didn't even do the packet with the ground beef tonight. I went real deal. I made a chicken marinade. It sat in there for like 45 minutes while I was preparing other things.
You soaked your chickens?
Grilled it in the rain.
Ooh.
Yeah,
Ooh, that's dedication.
It is dedication. Oh, I gotta straighten this.
Dude, you're driving me nuts with this right now. I'm just kidding. Ooh, shit. What do you got for us, Collin?
So it's Rogue Yellow Snow. Pilsner brewed with Oregon spruce tips.
You're telling me there's tree in this beer?
I mean, it sounds pretty good. I like sprucey.
Yeah, but
it says it's a winter inspired pills.
Well, that's because I think spruce trees.
Well, yeah. Yeah, it's good. It's pretty good.
I don't taste no motherfucking trees. I just taste like beer. It does not taste it. I'm gonna go in for another drink. Hang on. I'm gonna hold back until
I'll be honest with you. The first thing I saw was the name in the picture, and I thought it was pretty cool.
See, you buy beer based on the labels the way I buy fucking wine based on the labels.
I do that. I buy wine based on the labels too.
Yeah. If I always go for the same type of wine. I want a cab, right?
Yeah.
And then I go and I find a label and I turn that bitch over and I make sure it doesn't say anything about floral. Because I don't like to fucking drink potpourri. And like wine can get extremely fucking floral to where it really tastes like you're drinking potpourri, and I'm cool on that. So I flip it over, make sure that shit just says fruit, and I'm good to go. Anyway, Tula Taqueria. This shit slaps. It is so good. You'll go in, when you walk in, like you get a sense already that this place is about to be good as fuck.
Sweet.
The menu, there's nothing fancy about the menu. Like you look up and there's a giant board that is quite literally just white with like red words that are the categories, like red street taco. And then under it in green are just the different
all
meats.
Handwritten.
It looks handwritten, but it's a font. It looks like they went to fucking, Kinko's and printed out a large sheet of paper, quite literally that is white, red categories, green words are what meat it is, or what protein, and that's it. Super good.
You've had Junior's tacos, right?
Oh my God, dude. Okay. I ate Junior's tacos for like twice a week or 3 times a week for years.
2 things. One, did you know that they have brick and mortar now where Hamptons on King used to be?
That's where they used to park their second food truck. You're saying that they...
I don't know. It's,
right? That's like right before, what's the main road? Neil? Before Neil?
Yeah.
Yeah, so their second food truck used to be permanently there.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Close to the Highland one? Because there's Highland and Fifth. That's their main one.
No. Highland and Fifth is at the little
convenience
Mart
store.
Yeah. And then
so it was that close.
Yeah, it was right there. And the reason I know that is because the guy we had on the podcast a long time ago, Clint Davison, repainted their truck. He hand painted their logo on that one, the one that was permanently there.
But no, like that Hamptons place, it was called like Hamptons on King or something like that.
Right there on the corner of an alley or something.
Yeah, and they have that now. I don't know. I haven't been there. Anyway, the other thing I was say though, I got some Juniors a couple weeks ago, and they have the handwritten sign on the side of the truck, but it's like paper, and it's winter. And it was just like I'm standing there, and
do you
this paper is like you can barely read the marker on it, and the paper's like half hanging off. It is pouring rain.
I got to be honest. Do you think at this point in their existence that they're worried about customer acquisition?
No.
It is 100% retention. I have never gone there and ventured outside of, yes, I'll have a chicken burrito with extra chicken. That is what I get 100% of the time, and 2 red sauces. What the fuck else do you need?
I will say this though.
I'm not going there and getting shrimp or anything.
Yeah, that grosses me out a little bit.
Fuck.
Junior's was always my jam, and it still is. But once I discovered Los Guachos, man, I never looked back. That place is just so goddamn great.
I agree. It's such a trek for me though. Like,
yeah, it's really close to my house.
Look, I have a couple of tabletop tripods, right? I am prepared to go full gorilla mobile unit. Like walk in to a place, sit down, get some fucking tacos, and create a 20-minute pod while we eat tacos. We could do a whole
podcast till we get kicked out and then go to another place.
Yeah. That's what I'm saying. Like, I am fully prepared for a mobile unit, a tactical pod unit, a TPU. I'm going hard with this.
A TPU.
A TPU.
Oh man.
So we started to talk about something before we started the podcast, and we said, "Fuck, we should stop and talk about this."
Yeah.
And I want to just get right into this because it's fresh on my mind because I just got done listening to it again for the second time. New Lil Wayne record, Funeral. Thoughts?
Man, I didn't know that there was a new Lil Wayne record out until yesterday morning. I didn't know that there was one coming. Once I looked it up, I saw that he did it, announced it like 3 months ago or something like that. But I did not know there was new Lil Wayne record coming out. So it was a nice surprise when I happened across it. And I opened Spotify. I got to work yesterday morning and I opened Spotify for the day, and it was like on the homepage, it was like the ad.
Yeah.
And I was like, what? And I click and it's like full record. And I'm like, you gotta be kidding me.
It's long too.
And I was like, well, that's cool. So I started listening to it. First listen through, thought the first third was great. And then I kind of spaced out. So I was kind of iffy on it, but then I listened to it all the way through again today and like halfway through again tonight. It's pretty fucking good.
Yeah, it's really good.
My 2 gripes are, like any Lil Wayne record, there's way too many songs and he needs to edit better. There's a lot of garbage on there. Not a lot. I would say that, so it's 24 songs and it's like an hour and 16 minutes long or something like that. I would like to see it down to, I don't know, 18, 57 minutes long. Let's keep it a little under an hour.
All right. Man, you're getting like, that's like semantics. Like, honestly, that's the difference of like folding a basket of laundry or not. Like, what are you doing with that fucking last, 13 minutes of your life or whatever?
Oh, man. I get it. It's just, I don't know. To me, it meanders a little too much. But dude, it's got like all the classic weirdo stuff, and it's got big hard beats. And I mean,
for me, that's usually the difference in Lil Wayne records is like I want a certain type of beat. And the song that caught my attention is like track fucking like 4 or 5. It's that Mamma Mia track.
Yeah,
dude, that beat is disgusting.
The beat. Did you listen to Vince Staples' Big Fish Theory record?
No.
Oh, well, there's some electronic artist named Sophie, and they produced a song, and
so Sophie's like a duo or something? Or?
No. It's gender fluidity. I'm not sure, so I'm just saying.
Oh, got it.
And they produced like 3 or 4 songs on that record, on the Vince Staples record, and it's that similar sound to that. Where it's like this really hard kind of spacey metallic, like that. Like, no, dude, that's sweet. That's jams. I was listening on the way here.
Me too. But
the song is J-Rock too, man. Fucking.
You know what's funny is like the one that was getting a lot of traction that keeps coming up on other playlists and shit like that is that song with Da Baby and it was like him and Big Sean or something.
Yeah, and Lil Baby.
Oh, Lil Baby. Fucking too many babies. You got
Too many
Wheezy
babies.
F Baby, right?
Who's that?
That's fucking Lil Wayne. Are you kidding me?
Oh, Jesus Christ. Sorry. He's got like a million pseudonyms.
Yeah. Well, no, he's got a million things for what the F stands for. It was like a joke back in the day where like he'd be like Wheezy F baby and the F is for, and he'd just fucking name a random thing with F. Like Wheezy F baby and the F is for front door. Cause that's where we bring it. Sue if you bang it.
I mean, this one
is hard.
It's to me, his bars and his lyrics, it's a lot more like the mixtapes.
Yeah.
It feels like him at his strongest.
Right.
So that's super sweet.
Yeah.
Especially because the Carter 5 was like a little too much hype for something that took years to come out. Did you hear the one lyric on there where he cuts at baby a little bit? He throws in.
Well, I don't know. What's the lyric?
He throws in "Put respect on my name" in the middle of the line.
No shit. No, I don't think I caught that.
Yeah, it's later on in the record.
I sent you another record. Did you listen to that Royce the 5'9" and Westside Gun record?
No. Is it just one song or is it a whole record?
Yeah. No, it's just one song. I interchangeably use the word record.
Yeah, I know.
Because it's a rap thing.
I know it's a rap thing and it bugs me.
It weirdly bugs me too, but I'm on it now.
I get it.
I'm completely fine.
It doesn't bother me, but it's like okay.
It's a track.
Anyway,
not a record.
I did not listen to it.
You posted something.
I posted that Danny Brown.
That's what it was.
With Run the Jewels video. That's one of my favorite songs on that record.
And I think my response to that was,
yeah, and I have not watched it yet.
Dude, what the fuck,
man?
Okay, let me give you the paraphrase. Westside Gun sounds like Westside Gun. The beat is real laid back. It's almost no beat at all. And then it like kind of kicks in a little bit. Royce's verse is a fucking standout verse.
Sweet.
It gets me super hype. And the reason
is it a Royce the 5'9" song?
Yeah, it's Royce's song featuring Westside. And the video, you got to watch the video too. Like that's why I specifically dropped that, because the video, it starts by saying like, all people portrayed in the video are fictional, and any like whatever the fuck that disclaimer is, any likeness was unintentional.
Like they do at the beginning of Law and Order SVU.
Kinda. Yeah. But then same as Law and Order SVU, it follows a story that you're like, this is the fucking, and like exactly what they're mimicking or whatever they're
yeah.
This is exactly what happens. You see a Hispanic kid watching Westside Gun rap, right? And then you see him go and like start to rap in his bedroom, and it looks like maybe his mom is like cheering him on in the bedroom, and he's like completely normal and pristine haircut and yada yada. And then you see him go and meet some real thugs and kind of get jumped in. And then you see him in the studio rapping. He's got face tattoos and rainbow hair. And then you see him on the stand pointing people out. And you're like, oh, okay, I see where this is going.
Got it.
100% fictional Tekashi 6ix9ine.
Yeah.
Okay. So first of all, you got to watch the video for that.
Yeah.
It is literally telling the story of Tekashi. The second thing is he goes after people in it. I mean, no like subliminal diss. It's straight shots. He literally says, Yellow Wolf, this is your first and your last pass. And then goes on to some shit. And then, that was me. Oh. And then my favorite line though. First of all, let me get a temperature check. How do you feel about Meg Thee Stallion?
I'm a fan. I haven't like sat and listened to one of her records, but she knows how to make a fucking booty shaking rap song.
Okay. So she got a lot of hype from a lot of my friends. And I tried several times. I would listen to the records. I would listen to full records, all the features, everything. And I'm like, okay, 100% not for me. As it goes on, I actually think I dislike her.
Okay.
It's to the point now where when a record comes on, I hear her and I'm just like, dude, overrated AF. I am straight. All right. 100% straight. Well, he has a line that says the best rapper between Cardi B and Meg Thee Stallion is Cash Doll. Just completely says essentially fuck both of them.
Sure.
Cash Doll's better than both. I just had to stand up and like walk around my living room one time. Like when you get super hype, you're like, oh, I had to do that, dude. I just set whatever I was doing down. Oh, and I stood up, did a fucking lap, came back, and I was like, I'm gonna watch that video again. So I watched, excuse me, I watched the video again, and then I fucking sat down and posted it on your shit.
It's funny.
That was like, it was all in real time. You probably hear me coughing. I'm still sick. So, I mean, I am 100% down with the sickness. I got sick on December 3rd. No, December 10th. I lied.
Okay.
Ebbs, flows, got better a little bit, got worse. A couple Thursdays ago, 103 fever.
Jeez.
Took a different Mucinex because I only fuck with Mucinex. I believe that for whatever reason, they are like the heroin of over-the-counter cough medicine.
You just like the booger guys in the commercials.
I don't even know what you're talking about. I have no idea what the commercial looks like. I just fuck with them because everything they got
Don't they
says
have like
maximum
animated
strength.
boogers?
Oh, you know what? They got the little mucin or the mucus guys.
Yeah.
The mucus troll looking things. I know what you're talking about now. I don't fuck with them. So I've been just taking various Mucinex. I took like the expectorant because I was coughing and like the cold and flu because I had all this shit. I took all this shit. Dude, what day is it? It is
Tuesday.
No, it's the 4th of February, right?
Yeah.
The 3rd of February.
Oh.
Yesterday, it's been
2 months.
almost 2 months that I've been sick. So I finally just said, fuck it. Went to the doctor. She got up in my nose with that little thing with the little thing with the light and shit. She got up in my nose and was like, ooh, you have a nasty sinus infection. Gave me amoxicillin and some other shit that she's like, this is a clinical cough suppressant. It'll make you drowsy. Try to take it at night, but you'll get some rest. I said, hey, lady, don't I want to cough? And she said, no, it's not a productive cough. Your cough is actually just irritation in your throat. I said, all right, tight. What do I need to know about these drugs? She said, they'll upset your stomach and probably give you diarrhea. And I'm like, damn, this is like those commercials where they give you this miracle drug that like is going to stop doing your shit, but then you have to weigh all of the side effects.
If this depression medicine results in you wanting to kill yourself immediately, please call your doctor.
Yeah, it'll be like,
please stop taking.
It'll be like, oh yeah, you won't have psoriasis anymore, but you might want to kill yourself and you'll have rectal bleeding. And it's like, I don't really know. Like, I just want rough skin, I guess. I don't really want rectal bleeding. I'm not trying to wear a diaper. So she tells me this, and I get these things home, and I look at them, and they're these little like jelly ball looking things. And I was like, all right, fuck it. I'm here. If I'm shitting myself in the morning, I just won't go to work.
This is the cough syrup?
It's not syrup. They're pills.
Well, but
they're little like jelly balls.
Because I thought you were like about to say you were like walking around work sipping lean.
Dude, I went in 100% thinking like, holy shit, what if they give me codeine cough syrup?
You stop on the way home and get some Sprite.
And then I would bring it to this podcast, and that's what we would be doing. We would not be drinking beer. We would be sipping lean like fucking real G's. No, so I take these little jelly ball things, and like nothing happens. I actually got tired. I fell asleep. They seem to kind of work a little bit, and it's real ambiguous. It's like take a few times a night as needed. I'm like, what the fuck? So I get up in the morning, and I'm taking my daughter to daycare, and I fart. And immediately I go, oh my God, there's no way that that's normal. I might have some problems. And my daughter, who says, I mean, honestly, like 35 words tops, right? She goes, pew, pew, daddy, pew, pew. And she's waving her nose. I make it 4 more miles to daycare. I drop her off. I get back in my car. At this point, I think I need to detail my car. It's been an entire day.
Oh my God.
It's been an entire day. And the weather outside's not helping. But after an entire day, it's still rough. It's still rough out there. I drove with the windows open and everything, dude. I don't know what the fuck's going on.
Oh man, you ever seen that episode of Seinfeld where Jerry, his valet driver, leaves a smell in the car, and like he gets it detailed multiple times, and everyone, and like he keeps getting in, and everyone's just they sit for a minute and it's like. It's still there. She tries to sell it, and then they won't buy it. Oh, dude, it's so funny.
You gotta take it to CarMax. They'll take anything, even
True.
A car that has a CD player that will only play Limp Bizkit, Nookie. Remember the commercial?
Mm-hmm.
It's a fucking dope commercial.
Even a car whose door was puked on the night before.
You puked on a door and then traded it in?
We told it. Haven't I told the story on here before?
I don't know, but I have told you that I don't fuck with Seinfeld.
Oh, my bad.
It's all right.
You don't fuck with him because like fuck him, or you just don't find it that funny?
A little bit. I think it hit the wrong time. Like the type of humor it is, I don't think I was ready at the time that it was relevant. And then now going back, I don't like to watch things that feel old. And there is nothing about Seinfeld that feels new.
True, but the comedy is absolutely timeless.
I saw the Soup Nazi one. It was pretty good.
I will say, I grew up with it. Like we watched it religiously as a family. My mom is a fan. My dad's a fan. So like I watch it all the time. My dad and I watch reruns almost every night when we lived together. Sierra and I now, when we're just have stuff playing in the room, it's usually Seinfeld or The Office. And so some people, when they say I don't fuck with Seinfeld, like they have like fuck. I think it's stupid. It makes no sense to me. It's a dumb shit. Yeah.
No, I mean, I've saw a couple episodes, right?
I've seen a couple episodes.
Seen them. And it's not bad. It's just there's something that doesn't resonate with me. I actually don't think it's a bad show. It's just not for me.
I get it.
It's like Records.
By the way, we never said this is episode 42.
Fuck yeah, it is.
We never said
I tried to invite Jay Sleazy out tonight. Jordan Slack.
Oh.
He couldn't make it, but I think he's gonna try and come next Sunday. So we're gonna probably have a guest next Sunday.
Nice. One of these times I need to just, you know who should guest on here is Lee.
Oh, absolutely.
He said that he really misses his podcast. So
what the fuck, man? He's like him and Chris Tapman are two of the people that you can always count on to start something, and it's going pretty good, but it ain't gonna go long. Whatever it is, it's gonna go by the wayside. That's just the way it is. I saw you hold back.
You were talking shit.
I'm fucking talking shit because I talk shit to both of them. They both know that's how it is. I swear to God, the only posts I see from Lee are like, nope. The only posts I see from Lee are like, hey, I'm starting up this thing. It's gonna be like fucking, I don't know, beach music. And then like, seriously, he'll start up some shit, and I'm like, God damn, look at him go. And then it'd be, I don't know, 4 songs in, 1 show, they're done.
I got hassled for talking shit on this thing, so I'm trying to
hold on. Go back. Who hassled you, and what was the shit that you talked?
Tish hassled me.
Okay.
Because I accused her of killing my frog, remember?
I mean, shit. What's up, Tish? Did you kill his frog or not? Like, we got to get to the bottom of this.
So I've been trying to keep my shit talk level at a minimum. But I also, one of these days, I'm just gonna, because I know it'll be the easiest way to get him on here, I'm gonna, like, half hour before, text Jordan Holland and be like, hey, you want to do a podcast? Right now. That's how we'll get Jordan Holland.
Or tactical pod unit.
Just show up at his house.
Literally start the pod in the car. We will walk to his door and then open the door.
I think we have a new concept for this podcast.
It's like catfish, right? It's like when they just show up at people's like shit and but we'll just start podding.
Oh man!
Show up and pod. Show up and pod. SUAP.
So you know what?
Fuck. I was looking for a good acronym.
Did I tell you that we watched that Don't Fuck with Cats? Did we talk about that? That I watched it.
You said that you were on the second one.
Oh yeah. Anyway, we watched it. I thought it was okay. It was interesting, but this whole and I think Catfish was really the thing that started it. The movie before the show.
Oh yeah.
Because now there's that MTV True Life Crime, which is like Catfish without the catfishing part.
Yeah.
And to me, it's what we're seeing as a new genre of, it's like literally just like lurker shows.
Regular people exposing. But
I mean,
a really good
it's
job
just like, it's like everybody all the lurkers you knew when you were 19 years old, they're now on these fucking shows. Like fucking doing detective work, taking down pedos.
Pedos. I fucking love that. I do. I just love that phrase. I don't love them. Let me just be clear. I don't stand for the pedos. You said we were watching. You watch it with your wife?
Yeah.
You put something on here.
Just yelled at.
You put something on here, and we never quite got to it. 17 years.
Hey.
You
know, and that was the thing. Remember, I said I have another thing that is a simple thing that makes me happy.
You said,
whatever.
Yeah, it's just another thing that makes me happy. Just a little thing.
And then I forgot. I mean, to be honest with you, I was a little bit lit up by the end of that last podcast.
It's because them dippas.
Uh-huh.
Didn't we have?
Yeah.
Yeah, we had doubles, right?
Yeah, and I also had some drinks beforehand, I think. Anyway, Sierra and I have been together for 17 years.
It's fucking
as of a week ago. Not married. We've been married for almost 13 years. But yeah, it's just crazy. Like, I'm 36 years old, and that's like 1 year shy of half of my entire life has been spent with this one, like with this one person that I've seen or been around almost every single day of half of my life.
Yeah.
It's wild.
That's why she's like, dude, leave the fucking house and go pod. It's fine. It's fine. Just go.
Is she really like that though?
No, I do know. I'll share a funny story. So when I ran into her at your show,
Just kidding.
she said, I mentioned something about the podcast, and, you know, she expressed again, she's so happy because I'm one of her old friends, and, you know, your husband, or you're the husband, and blah, blah, blah. And she's so happy we're doing this. I said, have you listened to any of them yet? She was like, not one.
She listened to I think like 15 minutes of the one because Tish wanted her to hear me talking shit.
So, but real quick, my favorite part was her explanation of why. She was like, I hear his ass talk all the time.
Exactly.
She was like, I just know what he's going to say. Like, I hear him say the same shit all the time. And I was like, I wonder if my wife feels the same way, but she listens to all of them, dude.
Tish listens to all of them too.
I get a random ass text and it'll be like midday, and she'll be like, oh yeah, blah, blah, blah. It'll be like some response. And I'm like, what the fuck is she talking about? Because by the time this comes out, typically we had recorded it days prior.
Yeah.
And we don't really have a script. We just kind of have some loose topics we've jotted down.
Yeah.
And so by the time it comes out, when she replies, I'm like, I don't know what the fuck she's talking about. I'm like, what are you talking about? She's like, your podcast, 37 minutes in. I'm like, oh, okay. Gotcha.
37. She's like taking
notes. Dude, she fucking, she knows what's up.
Jesus Christ.
She knows what's up.
But I was talking to my best friend Chris the other day about this, and I was like, because he was like, dude, I listen to this new he's like every day he's like, dude, this new show I watched last night, this new series, or I started this new podcast, and I'm just like, there's so much fucking content. How do you find time to start all of these new shows and podcasts? And, you know, we're talking about it for a little bit, and then like then it was like we stopped talking, and like 15 minutes later I text him and I'm like, all this time for all these brand new podcasts, and yet there's 41 whole episodes of your best friend talking out. Your best friend talking out into the ether. And then he goes, dude, I know, I'm sorry. I'm like, no, if I were you, I wouldn't listen either, because you have to listen to my stupid ass talk for an hour and a half all the time.
Maybe that's a thing. Maybe
it is totally a thing. This is the one place where it's okay, where I don't get hassled.
Dude, I'm all about it, because we text and shit, and it's crazy because we come in here and we talk about all this shit, and almost none of it is stuff we text about.
True.
We could have just like we could do 2 a week probably.
Yeah.
But I don't got time for that shit.
No, but I mean, like, I literally like will be hanging out and I'll be going off on something or other, and I'll look across the room and see, and this is, you know, this is the 17 years talking, but she'll just look at me and she'll just be like, and that's my cue, you know, like, she's like, shut the fuck up. You know, like, how's that look in her face?
Because you're talking too much to her?
No. That's
rowdy.
No. Like, if I'm being boisterous and overpowering, because that's how I can be.
Yeah. You mean when you guys got guests over?
The volume knob.
She give you the look?
Yeah.
It's usually the other way around for me. I give my wife the look. I'm like, you know, like, can you dial the wild ass Latina back just a hair? Like, they're not ready. She posted something in the Facebook community group the other day, right?
I love how this is becoming a new segment. Stupid shit on our Facebook neighborhood walls.
So let me explain. So our community is done. They have sold and have built the last house. They're getting ready to, like, literally all of the machines and everything will be out, because that last house is like 80% done and everything else is done, right? So they're putting a community next to ours. It was supposed to be our same name community with the name West tacked on the end of it. So a different community, but same builder, same general vicinity. It's that giant field that was right next to where I live, right?
Where the
barn used to be.
Yeah.
Okay. Lately they've had a bunch of signs up, and we've noticed that there's no name West on the end of that. It's just our community's name. It's like, join the VIP list. And we're all like, what the fuck is going on? Like,
they about to double your neighborhood?
That's what I'm thinking. So here's the thing. So in order to get control of our HOA, we had to be at 80% occupancy or whatever, right? Yeah. We're at that. We should get control of our HOA. We're thinking they somehow like annexed it together.
Oh, they're gaming it.
So they can keep control. Oh. But I don't remember, like, I feel like we should have we should be mad about that. On one hand. On the other hand, it's like, I've looked at some of the HOA documents and like the budgets and shit, and like, it costs a lot. They pay a lot of money for like general upkeep of like the common areas, which are garbage in our community. They suck. And it's a lot of money.
Mm-hmm.
And then with the other things they've done, we're always over, and they never charge that back to the community. They just kind of eat it. And I wonder how that would change or how we would budget differently if we had to maintain that as a community.
Yeah.
So right now I'm kind of all right with it. It's whatever. But she posts something and she used a little bit of slang. You know, she said something like, I'm mad confused, right? But she said, I'm mad confused. And I read this and I was like, nope. No one in our fucking community except for me and one other person are going to understand that. Everyone else is going to think that
she's mad
and confused. And now she looks like a complainy pants. And like people are going to take that weird. So I think that, but I don't say that. I just let it go. Right. I think I liked it or something like that and just moved on. And we're driving around some days later and she goes, I can't believe nobody replied to my post. And I was like, about that. And then I told her what I thought. Dude, she was bummed out for the rest of the car ride. She was like, I can't believe you wouldn't say anything. And I said, I just let you go. Like,
oh, Amy was the one that posted this. I thought you said it was someone in your neighborhood.
No, I mean, she is.
I know, but
totally the wife.
Oh man.
But when I saw it, I just knew that it was going to get taken weird.
Mad and confused.
Yeah.
I am mad.
Yeah.
Confused.
Because honestly, like we're fairly outspoken in that thing. And like I'm not afraid to be at contention with another neighbor. Again, I named the one episode, My Neighbor Can Get These Hands.
Mm-hmm.
Because it can still happen.
I will say this. I am glad that I live in like a old ass mid-century neighborhood that's fucking lawless.
Yeah.
And don't have any
the fucking Wild West.
I don't have any fucking like fees or association that I have anything to do with. I don't give a fuck. This is my plot of land. Get off.
It's a double-edged sword.
No, I know.
It is. I'm sure that somewhere in your neighborhood is somebody where you look at their domain and you're like, motherfucker, would you get your shit right?
Well, yes, but at the same time, sometimes I feel like I'm that guy. Like, get it together, man. There's like fucking. I just noticed today on the way home from work, I'm pulling what is that in the yard? And there's a comforter.
Shut the fuck up.
On the side of my house. And I was like, that was a tent B was trying to build like 3 months ago. And I just never noticed it. So that's where I'm at here.
I'm going to share. I have a very similar story. Being that I've passed on the responsibility of taking the dog out to my 10-year-old, right? I feel like I haven't been around my house in months. So so I go outside. I stayed home and worked from home yesterday because I wanted to go see the doctor, and I was like, I'll take my morning meetings from home. And doing so, I took the dogs out for a bonus takeout around like 11 and, took them around the house. First of all, there are a set of cornhole boards on the side of my house that have been rained on, snowed on, everything on. They're fucking ruined.
The plywood's like
they're ruined. Yes, the plywood is separating, and they've now fallen into the grass. So I know the grass underneath is dead as fuck, and that weird light
rectangles.
Oh yeah, light ass green color, like weird green, like I want to be grass, but I'm not full grown type shit. So there's that, and then on the other side, I have a garden hose. Full ass garden hose snaked all through the yard. And I'm like, why the fuck did I just leave that garden hose out there? Next to the garden hose, I apparently took down all my Christmas lights and left one reel of Christmas lights next to the garden hose. And then in the backyard, there was a water play table for my 2-year-old. It has since blown over. All of the toys in it are strewn about the yard. Dude, my fucking yard is that yard.
Nice.
I have a commitment. The next time we get one of these fucking rogue ass 55 or 60 degree weather days in the beginning of the year, I'm going out there and cleaning that shit up.
Yeah, we're just not going to have winter, are we?
I'm fine with that. Do not.
Not me.
Why? What? Because you have a Jeep. You want to do Jeep things. That's what it is.
You know what? God forbid someone actually just enjoys a season, Jeff.
I'm all about seasons. I just want a consistent season for the whole year.
I want defined seasons.
How many though?
The normal 4.
I'll take 3.
I love winter. I love it.
Fuck that shit.
My mom went up to my brother's house in the UP over the weekend, and it's like they've got like a foot and a half of snow. Man, it bums me out.
You could have taken your Jeep up there and done Jeep thing.
Could have
did Jeep things. I see you're back to the Jordan 1s.
I had boots on until before I left here. I had boots on all day.
And you were listening to that fucking Lil Wayne record, and you were like, "Get out of here, Nazi stompers."
Nazi stompers.
It's time to put on my J's. And a Nile shirt for good measure.
Dude, that's a sick shirt. When I took myself out on my date with myself on my day off a couple weeks ago, and I went to Magnolia and I got a record and I saw this and I was like, dude, I've wanted a Nile shirt forever and I've never been able to find one that's got this record on it.
Yeah.
It's my favorite Nile record. Nobody talks about Nile anymore, but they just put out a great record like 2 months ago. Why
didn't you talk about it when it came out?
True.
You see?
So a couple other things that happened
Hit me.
Since our last pod. I have a second child who is older than 10. Or, I mean, older than single digits.
You got 2 in double digits.
I could have just said Miles turned 10. So Miles turned 10, had a good day, went out to breakfast with my mother-in-law. My father-in-law was in town, went out to breakfast with my mother-in-law, and then we, Miles and 2 of his 2 best friends from school, we went to Otherworld, and that was fun.
Was that the first time you've been?
I've been before. The kids had not yet.
I have not been. I've wanted to go so bad. And every time I see somebody post, I'm like, fuck, man, I really got to do that.
Shh, man, I should have texted you. I'm sorry.
Yep.
It was.
You know, our kids are friends too. It's not just me.
Dude, don't. This was specifically Miles said these 2 kids he wanted to do a thing.
It's okay.
God damn it.
I'm just giving you shit. It's the beer.
And then we got a dog.
Yep, that's a follow up from the
last
from
week.
the weird ass dog story last week.
Oh my god! No, this one was a better story. This one, AKC breeder, Amish family or Amish light. I mean, they have a house.
AKC breeder almost feels like a modern day rapper, like YBN Corday, NBC or NBA young boy, AKC breeder in this bitch.
But it's all like whatever dogs, like AKC Boston Terrier.
That's what I'm
AKC
saying. Bosto. Bosto sounds like a rap name. Go. Okay,
anyway,
I'm gonna stop diverting you.
Anyway, so we find this pup, and it's a brown Boston girl. It's like exactly like when we kicked off the conversation about getting another dog.
Yeah.
Like 3 or 4 months ago, that was it. Sierra was like, I want a little brown girl dog, Boston, and popped up, really good price, and called, and I guess they already had like paperwork filled out with somebody else who was going to be driving down in 2 days from out of state. And he was like, first come, first serve, bitches.
Cash is king.
And I was like, I will come tonight. And I left work and I got home and drove 2 hours. It was almost a Canton, and thought I was going to die that night. I'm not going to lie to you, man. I mean, it was up on 30 by Worcester. Then you get off 30 and you go like 20 miles off 30. And then it was like another 10 or 15 miles down a 1-lane pitch black road.
So was it bad weather?
No.
Oh, okay.
I thought I was going to be murdered in one of these mills out there. I mean, it was wild. Also, I've never seen an Amish buggy garage before. Like I said, I think they're Amish light or Mennonite or something like that, you know, because they had like a house and there was like electricity in the wires and the lights and stuff.
There's electricity in the wires.
That sounded so stupid.
I love
it. But no, it was like a pole barn. And then there was like inside there was like a row of like 6 buggies. They were all clean. It was like a performance car garage, but it was fucking buggies.
What does somebody need 6 for?
I guess if you have like Amish folk, like it's like a community.
Communal buggy.
Yeah, I guess. I don't know.
Shit, man. I was thinking like maybe they decided, fuck it, we're gonna make a bigger barn and we're gonna rent out some of the space. And
also the lights that they have on the front of buggies when you're out in the middle of nowhere wild, dude. Like talking like 6 bright, you know, like in a movie, like when like they like in the beginning of Jurassic Park, and it's like, you know, and there's like those
Dude,
lights.
it's like the fucking light bars that the Trump trucks have. Like,
Exactly.
oh my God.
It's wild.
What if it had truck nuts too? Can you imagine like a set of truck nuts
You
on
got the horse, and there's a
Yes.
huge nuts on the horse, and then huge nuts on the back
Yes,
of the
and then a
buggy.
a light bar, but it's solar powered
man.
because, you know.
And it says like, if you can read this, flip me over.
If you can read this, or what is it? There's another good one. It's like, my girlfriend doesn't ride me this close, or some
Yeah.
shit like that. Some kind of shit like that.
My brother once was out biking up north and found a Jeep Cherokee upside down in the ditch, and it was like all snowed on, and
Yeah.
he wrote in the window, "It's a Jeep thing you wouldn't understand."
Oh my God. Just doing Jeep things.
So yeah, we got a dog. Her name is Pepper, and she is darling. I think she'll be, you know, Melvin is at the high, he's higher than the breed standard. You know, they're supposed to be 25 pounds max for the boys, and he's 31 pounds or something like that, and he's like taller than other Bostons.
I feel like I have a mini Boston.
I think that Pepper's gonna be more like yours.
Yeah.
Like the bottom. How much did she weigh?
11 pounds.
She's full grown.
Full grown.
Yeah, that's they're like females. They say it's like 13 to 22 pounds or something like that. So
Yeah.
I think that Pepper will
Yeah.
be down there.
Our dog is fucking tiny. It's weird.
She's done really. She's gone in the house a few times, but like tonight. The one time she went in the house tonight, she peed by the door. Like,
So she's starting to get
We've
it.
been giving her, you know, we got a little can of easy cheese, and we've just been giving her that every time
Yeah.
we take her outside. And she seemed pretty comfortable right off the bat with being outside. So my guess is that she was pretty well played with outside at that farm. But it's funny too, because like if you get I have multiple cats too, and if you get a new cat and you already have cats, you got to take like 3 days to acclimate them to your house. You got to keep them separate, you know, all this shit. Like we got this
You
dog.
just throw them in there like Fight Club.
We got this dog. No, because that's like how you end up with like shitty cats.
All cats are shitty cats.
I disagree.
ACAB. All cats are bastards.
I was like,
Yeah, I knew.
I thought it was like, where's the shitty thing?
Yeah.
No, I mean, we had the dogs in their crates when she showed up, and then we let Melvin out and let him explore, and then we let Angus out like a couple minutes later, and like within 2.5 minutes, everyone's fine.
Who let him out?
Who let what out? The dogs?
Yeah. Who lets the dogs out? Who?
Who?
All right.
Wow, that joke fell flat.
Speaking of falling flat, let me get that Metallica hot take. I know you got something for me.
What was my Metallica hot take?
Oh my God.
Oh, sorry.
God.
No, I was looking through Time Hop, you know, the app that shows like what you posted last year and the year before and something like that. And I found a tweet that was a Metallica hot take. And I just felt like I wanted to share it with the world again. Oh man. I feel almost embarrassed saying it out loud, but the Black Album is by far the best Metallica album.
Why do you feel embarrassed? Do you think most people say Master?
Well, most people consider the Black Album is when they fucking poisoned the well, as it were. You know, people consider that as their sellout record and where they totally shifted. But man, okay, let me back up a little bit. I was being a little extreme. By far is way too extreme. I think that the Black Album is the best Metallica record. And Justice for All is amazing. Master of Puppets, you know, the first 4 are incredible metal records. But Black Album is just so fucking heavy. And the songs are just so good. That's my Metallica hot take. It has nothing to do with anything we've been talking about.
I think it's crazy.
I think I was drunk when I put it on there.
To this, those are the best
or
topics.
half asleep. One of the two.
The best topics on here. It's crazy that like a lot of those riffs still super relevant. Super relevant. A lot of the hand like picking motions and stuff, it's still reused every day in metal music.
I mean, Sad But True is one of my standards for.
You know, I didn't know that it was Sad But True when I was a kid. My brothers would listen to it, and I was like, what the fuck is Sabatu? Or Sabatu? Like, what the fuck is Sabretooth? Like, I'm like, is he saying something weird? There were so many times as a kid that I would hear these metal records that they would listen to, whether it be fucking that or like Twisted Sister or any type of like 80s metal, right?
Mm.
And I would always think they were saying some other shit. I never got it. Also back then I listened to a fuck ton of rap. So
anybody who's got a problem with that can meet me in the DMs, and I'm happy to give you a much longer winded answer as to I'll go into detail.
You haven't asked people to meet you in the DMs in a while.
Like I said, man, I'm trying to keep the shit talking down.
Turning over a new leaf.
I
don't know if I like it.
I'm trying to.
I'm going to up mine.
Your shit talk?
Up the shits. I'll sip to that.
I'm trying to make 2020 involve less drama in my life.
Man, fuck that. I'm going to shit talk right now. We're going to get it popping with this Billie Eilish girl.
Man, you're obsessed.
I'm not obsessed. I hear about her and things all the time. It's one of those things where like I kept hearing about her and I was like, I just assumed she was in a genre that I didn't give a fuck about, which kinda is. I don't know what the fuck kind of music I thought she was, but when you told me it's like sad, like whatever type of, I was like, oh, all right, I'm gonna check it out. So I queued it up on Spotify, and then like every time I'd get in my car, I would just listen to the next track. I have no concept of what albums these things are on, if they're on multiple albums, the same albums, what they are. I would just hit next, and it would go to the next one. And I think I started on Spotify with like the top most popular records. So it went through like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And then from there, I don't know what the fuck it did. I don't know what's what. Not really a fan. Okay. So I feel like she sounds like the drunk girl at a party that really, really wants to do karaoke, but is kind of afraid to sing. So then she gets up there and she's like, and like everybody's like, yeah, Kristen.
Have you ever seen that the SNL bit with Rihanna, the Shy Ronnie?
No.
Andy Samberg does, where this was when Rihanna was like at the top of her stardom.
Yeah.
And it's like a Rihanna song, and she goes, okay, and she hands the verse over to Shy Ronnie, and it's like all of a sudden the beat's really big, and he's like,
yeah, that's what I feel. And then like every once in a while, out of nowhere, like her vocals and how she does it would actually match really well with the beat. And I'm like, damn, I kind of like this song. So there was, I texted you about one. It was something about a Xan.
Mm-hmm.
What the fuck is it?
Zanny.
Okay, there you go. Zanny. That track was tight. There was another one.
You said it was called like Wish You Were Gay.
That one. I thought that track was good as well. But for the most part, not really fucking with it. And again, I'm actually not even hating, because like that doesn't mean shit.
It's not for you.
Yeah, exactly. It's just not for me. So I'm not hating about that. Then I see her all in the media because she apparently was going at people that were dressing like her. Did you see this?
Mm-mm.
She's like, you guys, she was like literally calling out people and calling out a specific YouTuber who has been doing pranks, like had this person dress up like her in her like green, looking like reptile outfit, and then like walk through a crowd, and people were kind of like, oh fuck, is that her? And then this happened to be a cheerleader doing some flips, and clearly it wasn't her at that point. But she's attacking people for emulating her look, and she's like, I wish you guys would stop, yada yada. And I can't help but think about Lady Gaga and Sia and all these fucking people that are like legends that have never stepped out and said, oh, stop doing this, that's my look, yeah. And like I instantly fucking hated her. I really do hope that she fails at this point. I don't like her. I'm done with her. I don't even want to listen to 2 songs anymore. I'm done.
Wow. Okay, so I got to say this. To push back on that a little bit, I understand how that would rub you the wrong way.
Yeah, it makes me angry.
But Sia is like 45 years old.
So?
Billie Eilish is 17. She's a child.
She's 18.
Whatever. She's a child.
She can go to war. That means, and she can dress like reptile and shit.
I look at pictures of myself with my kids.
Mm-hmm.
When Rowan was a baby and I was 25, I was a fucking child. I meet somebody now who is younger than 25, 23, 21, and I'm like, these are children.
Mm-hmm.
So it doesn't, it would bother me a lot more if she wasn't a kid. But also it does kind of just sound like suburban bratty kid,
Yes.
which is annoying.
I'm like, bitch, you are literally dressed like me. I mean, fuck. Go back to 95. Bitch, you're dressed like me. What the fuck is going on? Just because you got a whole bunch of money because your brother's a cool producer and making you fucking whisper into the microphone, like, I'm straight. I'm good.
Wow, you turned that one on a dime. I did not see that coming.
She has to prove herself to me at this point. I mean, honestly, she don't give a fuck about me.
Look, she just fucking raked in Grammys. She don't give a fuck about anybody.
But who gives a fuck about the Grammys?
No, I don't.
Speaking of, did you catch Tyler, the Creator's speech, his acceptance speech?
I did not see his acceptance speech, but I did see his little tirade in the post Grammy press conference, where he said that urban music sound is just another word for the N-word.
My apologies. That's actually what I'm talking about. What are your thoughts on that?
I've been thinking a lot about this, just about stuff like this, and recently, and so many people have opinions on stuff like that, but it's just like it's not my story to tell. It's his story to tell. I need to listen to him when he's talking about the experiences of a young black man in America trying to make music.
Yeah, but there's one particular piece that I take from that man, I just fucking feel him so hard on, and that is why that record
is not a rap
that record is not a rap record.
No, there's rap parts.
Exactly. And I can't help but think about, take a record like Justin Timberlake, for example, right? Justin Timberlake would undoubtedly, no matter how many fucking rap features he had on the album,
pop records.
It would be a pop record.
Yeah. No,
right?
Yeah.
And why, and basically what he said was every time somebody does something that's genre bending, they're just lumped into a category based on what their either past records were or what they look like visually. Mm-hmm. And I fucking feel that. There are a lot of bands and groups and artists that do bend genres, and it sucks that they always get lumped into the same thing. Because again, like you just said, that record is not a pop, or it's not a rap record by any means. It's got a few rap verses on it, right? But it's just a pop record.
I did watch his Grammy performance, and that was fucking sick.
I did not.
Dude.
I didn't watch it.
You have to go home and watch it.
All right.
Because, so it's, that song Earthquake. Mm-hmm. He bookends the song with that. Like he starts with that and ends with it.
Okay.
But he's not singing it. It is Charlie Wilson and Boyz II Men.
Oh shit!
Are singing that song in the beginning and the end, and then in the middle he puts in that song "New Magic Wand," which is one of the harder songs with rap parts and stuff on the record. It's really cool.
I had a chance to see Boyz II Men at the Hollywood Casino, and I didn't go. I was like pouting because the dude with the low voice is no longer in the band.
Yeah.
I
think did he die?
I think he did.
I think he had a heart attack.
At the time. I think he was just out for health reasons. He hadn't passed yet, but I think he's dead.
Baby.
We should use our
baby
girl.
I didn't mean it.
I had a chance to go, and I should have went. Speaking of, dude, I wanted to go to that YBN Corday show at Scully's. Bro, the day I posted that and said, "Hey, would somebody go with me?" The next day, I got notification it was sold out.
Jeez.
But Riff Raff is coming. And I'm trying to go to that too. So if any of my listeners, our listeners rather, want to go to Riff Raff, holler at me. I'm trying to go.
And Riff Raff, if you're listening, man, well, you can be a guest.
I would love it. Fucking Jody High Roller.
I'm going to see Thrice tomorrow night.
Oh, that's tight. Oh, this is like a big anniversary tour.
It's the 15th anniversary of Vishu.
Yeah.
And I knew they were touring on that, so I was like, cool, they'll be playing Vishu songs. That's cool. Maybe they'll play some deep cuts. And then I like a dork got on setlist.fm to see what they've been playing.
Yeah.
Dude, like they play the record start to finish and then a handful of other songs.
Oh, okay.
So stoked.
Yeah, I mean, honestly, if you're going to promote something as an anniversary tour, it should be the record start to finish.
But I mean, every so the whole show is good. Me Without You's playing, and that band has always been. I was a fan back in the day, and then I fell off. They put out a record last year that actually had real like nothing vibes and stuff like that, which I really enjoyed.
I didn't know they put a record out.
They did. And then Drug Church is on it. Have you heard that band?
I'm not.
You would like that too.
Really?
It's like
it's got a cool name.
They're kind of like the kind of grown up pop punk genre, but it's a little bit more on the punk end of it. It's a little bit more
nice,
like
raw.
And then a band called Holy Fawn, and it's like post rockish.
So
shoegazy.
Did I ever tell you about how? First of all,
anyway, I'm stoked.
The word shoegaze, is that like a genre that just popped up?
No.
Okay, I just found out about this genre mid last year.
Okay.
Out of nowhere. I somebody mentioned it to me and I was like, oh yeah, I just nodded like I knew. And I was like, what the fuck is that? And I had to Google it. And since then, I don't know if it's that weird thing where you get a car and then all of a sudden you fucking see that car everywhere. I don't know if it's that. I hear that term, shoegaze, at least once a day now.
Well, honestly, it is because bands like Nothing and Title Fight and bands like that took the old shoegaze stuff, because if you're wanting to listen to a shoegaze band, I mean, My Bloody Valentine was the band that basically started the genre. Their record Loveless is like the hallmark record of the genre. It came out in like 86 or something like that.
Shit.
And it's just like really spacey, chorusy indie rock. And bands like Nothing and Title Fight really kind of took that sound and made it a lot more accessible.
What's crazy?
So
you're like a fucking musical encyclopedia. I can just ask you anything.
It's a curse.
It's a curse.
No, it's actually been a thing. You remember Matt Pinfield?
Yeah.
From MTV.
Yeah.
He always knew everything.
Yeah.
In high school, my friends called me Mini Pinfield because I always have some stupid fact. Because I know so much garbage facts about bands that I don't even give a fuck about, just because I just do. Shit. I just like go on Wikipedia rabbit holes. I'll be listening to a record and I'll open the Wikipedia page for the record and like look at all the production credits, look at all the sample credits, read the story, read about the art. I just do it. That's tight. It's weird.
I gotta be honest.
I've done it my whole life.
I used to do the same thing, but only with weird facts.
My favorite show, even when I was little, like we had an old 60s World Book Encyclopedia.
Yeah.
And I used to just read those. Just read, like, it was like Wikipedia binges back in the day.
I had the encyclopedias that like you got a new one every year.
Yeah.
I had those.
So, those are sweet.
Yeah.
But I always, like, when I was like 18, 19 years old, like my favorite show was Behind the Music, and I like saw every episode of it.
I did love that.
And like,
so let me tell you how I actually found Me Without You. You remember Ragorama? Is it still around? It's still around, right?
Yep.
Okay. So this was like one of the first like posh, cool secondhand stores where everything they had, it wasn't like a thrift store where like they just took anything. They selectively took your shit.
It's the store where hipsters sell their clothes so they can buy drugs.
Is that kind of always been the thing?
Yeah.
Okay. Well,
if you want to go find a pair of like $100 or $150 diesel jeans for $30, you go to Ragorama because some hipster sold them because he wanted to get some cocaine that night.
Very nice. So I used to go.
That was a little extreme.
I believe
you get the point.
I believe you. So it was like really the first posh secondhand store where they selectively bought your clothing, and so when you went there, you almost had like a curated secondhand store, right?
Yeah.
So
I still go there all the time.
I haven't been in. I mean, I just asked you if it was
right
still
around
open.
the corner from my house. You went when it was where the Revari room is now.
Yes. And then I still went later.
Yeah.
Just not much. So I went in one day and I found this shirt and it was really cool and it had like this arm on it and it said like A, B, and it said Me Without You. And I was like, oh, this shirt's tight. I'm buying this. So I bought the shirt. And then I go home and somebody asked me, hey, what's that shirt? And I was like, fuck, I don't even know. So I looked it up on the internet. I was like,
you like Me Without You? Name 3 songs.
Yeah.
Jeff, name 3 songs.
Yeah. So I look it up on the internet. I'm like, shit, this is a band. And this was the time when I was listening to music like this, but I had never heard this band. it was a little harder to discover music back then. You had like Pure Volume and like mp3.com. Remember that shit? But it wasn't as easy to discover music. And so I find them, I listen to it. I'm like, oh shit, I really like this. And then I started following them, and it was actually for the record A to B or whatever. And then I started following them.
A to B life.
Yep. And then I caught them they played a church on Stringtown Road in Grove City. I went to that, thought it was really cool. What's fucking crazy about this whole thing is I just told my wife this story. The same drive where I had to tell her that her post came off weird. The same drive. I just told this story. And I haven't thought about this in 20 years.
Weird.
And I told the story twice. So
yeah, I knew about Me Without You because obviously I grew up in the Christian scene.
Yeah.
But they before Me Without You, they had a band called The Operation that was similar sound, but was more a little bit more aggressive. And
the thing that always caught me about Me Without You is the vocals were always just wildly over top of the music.
There
was like no rhythm. Yeah. It's like it didn't fit. It was like somebody wrote music and handed that dude music, and he started reading a bunch of journal entries.
Bands like Law Dispute would not exist if they're not for them. And they went on tour with Norma Jean when Bless the Martyr came out, and those two bands, because he had a feature on that record, and those two bands became really good friends. But I was on tour with the band Narcissus from Canton back in 2002. We went to Furnace Fest, and I was doing merch and stuff, but we were on tour with Me Without You. And so I actually became a really good friend, like got to know those guys really well. We shared a hotel room with them in Birmingham, and they're wild guys too. And they're a bunch of hippies. I mean, like they're hip, like they're inner city hippies from Philadelphia. They like built their own tour bus that was biodiesel, and like they converted an old Greyhound bus to biodiesel. They
stuffed like banana peels and shit into the.
They converted an old Greyhound bus to biodiesel and like completely remodeled the inside by themselves as a band. Like they're like all really DIY dudes, really really nice guys, really kind guys. It was weird. I remember like I hadn't seen them for a few years, and they were playing at the Newport with somebody, and I worked at Urban Outfitters at the time, and I was walking down the alley to my car, and I saw him. I was like, holy shit. And I go, and like Aaron, the singer, I don't know that, like, I don't think they're not a Christian band anymore. I know that like Aaron is still a really spiritual guy, but he has some Muslim roots too, I think. So I think he's kind of tapped into that a little bit as well, into like Islamic mysticism and stuff like that. Doesn't matter. Anyway, I remember he walked up to me, and they were still very much a Christian band at the time. And he was like, dude, it's so good to see you. And then he stops and he grabs my shoulders and he pushes me back, and he's just like, how's your relationship with Christ?
Oh shit.
I mean, that was like, I hadn't seen him in like 3 years. And that was like, I mean, that was a band that like meant what they practiced what they preached. They were real deal. I remember we used to go, when we were on tour with them, we would go to like Wendy's. We walk in, we would get in line to order, and they would just reach into the trash can. That band was they were real deal hippies.
They'd reach into the trash can and get like fries at people?
They would walk up to people who looked like they were wrapping up and be like, if you're just going to throw that away, we'll eat it. They were straight up dumpster
Holy
divers.
Shit.
Yeah, freegans, as they call them.
Freegans? I'm into it. Fucking A. Have you ever heard of the band Hotel Books?
Mm-mm.
We should check them out. I know the first time I heard them, it kind of reminded me of Old Me Without You, where it's like music. And I think this guy, I think it started. I could be fucking completely wrong.
He sings a little now, by the way. Like
I'll have to check it out.
He'll be the first.
I'm actually very interested in leaving here and checking out the record you said they put out last year.
Yeah, because they did some folky stuff for a while too. They got a little bit folksy, and he started singing. But he would always talk back in the day about how like he knew he didn't have any actual musical talent and he couldn't sing. So he must have been getting some training. But he sings a little bit now.
Well, there's also auto-tune, so we're good.
I was listening to that Lil Wayne record while I was cooking. And
which one? The new one you're talking about? Okay, you're saying record as an actual record, not like song.
Yes.
Okay.
And I was grilling, and Rowan comes outside and he's like, "Whoever you're listening to, Dad, like, why is he like singing through autotune, like where it's like really auto-tuned, like little." He was making fun of it, and it was so funny.
Well, anyway, hotel books is like.
Oh yeah, sorry.
No, you don't have to apologize, Collin. It's completely fine. It's like when you say that. No, yeah. No, yeah.
It's who I am.
Like internal struggles with Collin.
Internal struggles with Collin.
Yeah.
External struggles with Collin.
So hotel books is it's a guy who I want to say wrote a bunch of poetry, and there's music and it's like spoken word over it.
I have heard it. Not a fan.
Dude, I fuck with it.
I'm not a spoken word guy.
I can do spoken word as long. Well, okay. I can do some spoken word. I can do it over this music for some reason.
That's cool. I'm not dissing you.
I can only do so much.
Yeah, sure.
That's kind of how I feel. It's like I got like a track or two in me, and then if I'm not depressed, I don't want to hear it.
Because there's another one. He's a Christian guy, but he was in that whole like Chariot, Me Without You, that whole world. It was called like Listener or something like that, and it was the same kind of thing. I know what you're talking about. I know who exactly who you're talking about.
All right. Well, I feel like I'd be remiss if I didn't mention the fucking coronavirus, because
I had a friend I saw a tweet. He was like, "Yeah, dude, my roommate had coronavirus like 5 times in college," and had a picture of a bottle of Corona. Anyway,
different strain. No, have you seen some of the conspiracy theories?
No, I mean I'm talking about,
I know. I heard at the end you said they had a bottle, blah 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 blah. But have you actually?
Are you friends with Donnie Dawson?
I know who he is.
Are you friends with him on Facebook?
No, I don't think so.
Oh man, he's been going fucking hard with the conspiracy.
Really?
I try not to get into conspiracy theories, but this is looking really scary.
All right. Well, give me some of it.
I've seen.
Can you give me some?
There's like
paraphrase.
Well, the first thing I saw was the end of last week saying that some Indian scientists found HIV-like elements or strains or something in this that makes it different from other coronaviruses, because coronavirus is a very normal thing.
Right.
And that indicated that gave the implication that it was probably designed and not fortuitous, like out of nature. Conspiracy theories popping up like that in that Wuhan city, that there's like a biowarfare lab. There was that Harvard chemist who was just fucking busted for selling biochemistry secrets to China, or receiving payment from China to give them secrets or whatever. And that's literally selling secrets to China when I'm an idiot. And then I saw a bunch of like quick snippets of videos today, like where there was like just like bodies and body bags in this hospital lined up, some hospital they built in like a week. I don't know. Like this is the time where conspiracy theories start to pop up when stuff like this happens. So you got to obviously take everything with a grain of salt, and it's that doesn't add up.
Yeah, there's a lot of stuff.
They're saying that the Chinese government is suppressing. They're saying that 700 to 1,000 people have died, but people are saying that like it's probably in the tens of thousands. Who knows?
I know, it's wild. I like some of the ones that are happening on the home front, right? Like, I saw something circulating wildly on Facebook, and anytime it's circulating wildly on Facebook, I'm immediately skeptic, right? So, or I at least want to look into it. So the first thing I see is somebody say, they're lying to you, and they're like, the coronavirus isn't new. I'm like, first of all, nobody said it was new. It's a new strain, right? Nobody said it's new, but I have saw several people post that goddamn post that has a picture of a Lysol can that says it kills the human coronavirus, right? And they circle it on the can because they're like, look at this shit right here. And then they show you the bottom of the can. And it's like, this can was manufactured in like 2018. And they're like, why would this can manufactured in 2018 be able to kill the human coronavirus when it's supposedly a new virus? And I'm like, dude, they're the chromosomes that are left in these humans.
Dude, I saw a tweet today that because, today's news is the fact that the Democratic Party completely botched the beginning of campaign season by being a bunch of fucking morons.
How do you say that word? Is that caucus?
Caucus. And it appears, you can go down the one conspiracy theory route where it appears as if they're kneecapping Bernie again in front of everyone's eyes, which is probably true. But
dude, that meme's not helping.
What meme?
I am once again asking for, and then they keep.
I think that's totally helping. No.
That's what I mean. I think it's that's not helping. It was rhetoric, but
I don't know. I don't know where I was going with that, but I just can't. News this week sucks. One reason I'm glad we're here tonight is I'm not watching that goddamn buffoon talk on national television. I'm talking about the president of the United States.
Yeah. Okay. You say that. Goddamn well, you're going to go home and you're going to look for the Cliff Notes version.
Oh, for sure.
You want to see what the fuck was said.
I got to see what the scuttlebutt is.
Can we talk about the scuttlebutt? Can we talk about how he didn't really understand that it was Kansas City?
Jesus Christ. That stuff doesn't even really bother me that much anymore. Like that sort of thing, because it's just stupid.
Yeah, but it's just like, it shows you how fucking disconnected he is and how full of shit he is. He's like, yeah, you made the state of Kansas and the whole U.S. proud. It's like he just says things now. Middle America
are supposed to be his voters too. So what that says is I don't know anything about you, nor do I actually give a fuck about you. And I get that.
And it'll change nothing.
But dude, it is, we gotta fucking, 2 years ago I said things are going to get worse before they get better. A year ago I said things are going to get worse before they get better.
Yeah.
Today I'm saying it just keeps getting worse and worse.
Yeah. I don't even have the energy.
These fuckers.
I feel like, did you file your taxes yet?
Not yet. I just got the rest of my paperwork yesterday.
I think we're supposed to get more back this year. Shout out to Trump.
No. I mean, that's what they're saying. The State of the Union tonight was all going to be about the economy, and yeah. I get it. We got a great economy right now. We also did in 2008.
Yeah, we got to stop letting him claim that as something he did.
No. I'm not saying that. I'm saying that we had a good economy we had a booming economy in 2008 before everyone lost their fucking jobs and all of their money. So I think we can keep talking about the economic success right now, but we got to make sure that we're looking at the 10,000 foot view of this. Conservatives, I'm talking to you. You're the ones who are supposed to keep this shit in line.
Servy serves. I'm gonna be the guy that just adds slang to all of your. I'll be like the Flava Flav of your political talk. Like you'll be talking, I'm like, yes, servy serves.
No, you should start doing like ad libs, like yeah.
Dude, my favorite shit is
Megan Thee Stallions.
Oh no! I thought you were doing the Pusha T. Yuck. Yeah, exactly. The yuck. My favorite shit was on that Royce 5'9" and Westside Gun. Somebody in the comments said like nobody, and they just left it blank, and they said Westside Gun. Boo 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 boo. Because that shit's in like every fucking song.
Yeah,
he's got his own fucking gun sound.
Sierra. Boom, 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 I listen to Griselda stuff so much in our house. I have like a whole Spotify daily mix that is basically just Griselda projects because there's so many of them. And she's always just like, that is so stupid.
In the video, he's got like a grill in, he's got his like gold teeth in, and it nearly paralyzes his mouth. Like he cannot, there's no way that he's in the studio with that grill in. Because when I look at him rap with this grill, I feel like they should have made his grill like thinner or something. Like it should have been like more on the teeth, and so it was less intrusive. Dude, you gotta watch the video.
Extrusive?
Yeah. It's wild. It's too wild. Anyway.
We haven't talked about the elephant in the room.
Which elephant? Your fucking beard?
Dude,
Dude, you know why? It's like I wanted it to be shittier than it is, but it looks pretty good.
Wow. People keep saying last night I was standing there in the kitchen and I looked at Sierra and I was like, how much do you hate my stupid face right now? And she was like, it doesn't bother me. I think it looks fine. You look fine.
Yeah.
It's weird. Because I look in the mirror. I mean, I was taking a shower this morning. I was looking down at the razor. I was looking at the razor and I was looking at the razor. I was just like, come on, man. Like my entire.
Do you shave in the shower? Sorry, I got distracted. I have to. Do you shave in the shower?
Usually.
Really? You don't like stand at a mirror and like. All right.
No.
Go back to your regularly scheduled.
I do. I have like nice like straight razor and like a brush and stuff like that.
Dude, you would with that haircut. And like I just feel like you would.
I have that, but it never gets used. I just use like a fucking just 4-blader in the shower. Yeah,
I'm Mach 3 all day.
But no, I my entire adult life, or like since I started my entire post-pubescent life, I've been shaving like every other day.
Every other day?
Like my entire life.
If your shit ain't growing, then what are you doing every other day? What are you even shaving?
It grows.
You're just making sure it like doesn't even have a chance?
It grows enough to bug me. I like to have a nice, smooth, clean shave, man. I still have facial hair. It just looks like shit.
So what are you doing at the end of this?
Somebody said to me today, nice beard. And I was like, what?
What, was it somebody you know or just a random?
Yeah, it was somebody I know.
Oh. I'm saying, because what you got going on right now, it might be a lot for you, but it's not like I wouldn't expect you to walk down the street and get a compliment. Nice beard.
I couldn't agree more with you, Jeff.
So if a rando had told you that today, I might question like, all right, they were talking shit, Collin.
Somebody at work though was like, it's really coming in.
Oh,
and it's like,
shit.
Dude, I'm not 13 years old.
Yeah. You should bust off that whole center and just like handlebar that bitch.
Yeah.
That old James Hetfield.
Take like a fucking Civil War shit.
Yeah, you can do that if you want. Or that fucking Jody High Roller, that riffraff, that zigzag down the cheek thing.
What? Where? What?
Yeah.
It stops here.
You're right. It does.
You know, it has no problem going here though.
What? You just get a straggler?
There's no problem.
A curb feeler in the bottom, like
way down there.
By your trap? By your trap muscle?
Oh man, I feel like I feel gross. That's all. I just feel gross.
Don't feel gross. Did you see they're producing an electric Hummer? Yeah,
it's wild because I'm legitimately kind of stoked about it because they're rebirthing the brand because they sold the brand off for a while ago, but I guess they bought the license back or something like that. It's weird that it's being branded as a GMC.
Yeah,
and not just
I saw that,
and not just Hummer. It's a GMC HummerEV, but they're 1,000 horsepower. That's like a V8.
What?
It's like an electric version of a V8, basically. But the 11,500 foot-pounds of torque.
Yeah,
like that's new. Like this is an electric rock crawler.
Right.
You know, this is a slow off-roader. I mean, that's sweet.
Yeah, but it's also, what was the fucking stats? It was like 0 to 60 in like 3 seconds. Yeah, dude. I mean, honestly, I don't understand how they're making vehicles that do this and they just aren't popping wheelies. Because my remote control car pops a wheelie.
Yeah. And it's also, you think about how in the mid 90s, like in 94 or whenever, 95, when the Dodge Viper came out, that was a
V12.
That was the fastest 0 to 60 on the market at the time, and it was like 0 to 60 in like 4.7 seconds or something like that. And now it's like a fucking Tesla Model 3, just like, or Model S.
No, Model 3.
The Model 3's got the absurd mode or whatever it's called.
Okay, so
what's it called?
Insane.
No, is it?
Yeah, I think it's called Insane. I could be wrong, but so Tesla put out this thing called
absurd.
Lots absurd. No, Tesla put out this thing. I want to say it's called like Stealth or something like that. It's where it's like it's an insane performance vehicle that doesn't look like an insane performance vehicle. Like, and it's a specific model of the Model S called I want to say it's called Stealth. I could be wrong. Well, a lot of Model 3 and just other people were upset about that. Here's the crazy shit. It's just a software update.
Dude, that's the craziest thing about the whole thing.
So what they did was you could go onto your little Tesla phone app, pay like $1,000 to download the upgrade, sync it to your car, and then now your car just goes 0 to 60 in like 3.9 seconds.
It's crazy.
It's the Kemper of cars.
Well, I mean, like we got Miles a hoverboard for his birthday.
Right.
And it was wild, dude. Within like an hour, the thing, it's like part of his body. It's crazy.
Did you try it?
Yeah.
Did you crash?
You know, I'm getting better at it. The first time I was doing this thing.
Oh yeah, for sure.
You know, but it's really weird. It works the best. Like, cause like I've been saying this. It's like you watch the fail comps of people on hoverboards and stuff like that. If you are worried about falling off of it, you're gonna fall off.
Oh, you just need to get willy with it.
You have to pretend that it is part of your body, and you literally just have to think, I'm gonna go forward, and then you go forward. It's weird, man.
You just kind of lean a little bit.
Yeah, but it's weird. Anyway, we got him that, and in the app, it Bluetooths to it, and I can set a governor on the speed. And that's the thing. All these motors are just these high fucking torque, high power electric motors that all they are doing is doing a slider.
I can't emphasize enough that it is the Kemper of cars. Like, what I really, really, really want to see.
Got the fucking Will Putney patches.
You know what I'm saying?
Got those Elon Musk patches.
Those STL tones. What I want to see is 5 years from now, right? 10 years from now. Like, think about your iPhone. Shouldn't your iPhone, it's a powerful ass device. Shouldn't they be able to release software to make it better? But what did Apple do? Release shit to make it slower because they want to push people into the newer model, the newer hardware. They intentionally design software that requires more, quote unquote horsepower.
Yeah.
What the fuck are they going to do with these cars? Like, what if they started saying, you know what? Let's just slow these things down. Push out a fucking update over the satellite. I want something to not work well.
Yeah.
Oh, you know what else they're doing for the Model 3 owners? If you lease it, like most cars, you lease a car and then at the end of it, they sell those off, shit like that. You can't do that with the 3. If you lease a 3, you have to I think sign something that says you'll turn it back in. You know what they're doing with those? The robo-taxi fleet. So here's what they're doing. You pay $700-800 a month to lease a car that you guarantee to turn back in, and they take your 3 years worth of driving data and they use that. So you're essentially powering.
They're data mining your human driving. That's very smart.
That's smart as fuck. And then at the end of it, they want to make all those 3s that were leases. That's going to be part of their robo taxis. Dude, he's a fucking genius. He is
super villain.
Gosh dang genius.
He's kind of an idiot, though.
No, explain. What do you mean by he's kind of an idiot?
Follow him on Twitter. Then you'll know.
Dude, I don't fucking Twitter. I just don't Twitter.
I'm just saying,
and by the looks of our account, you don't either. I haven't got a good Twitter joke in on you in a while.
I got no problem tweeting from my account.
Yeah.
But no, he's just it's one of those things. I was talking last week about how great social media is because it makes us intimate with people that we admire.
Yeah.
But to me, he represents the opposite side of that, which is just dude, I wish you didn't have an account. Just shut the fuck. There's times where literally it seems like, okay, this is some super genius tech guy who's tweeting at 4 a.m. because he's fucking out of his mind on mushrooms. It's that kind of vibe on a lot of his. It's just he says a lot of stupid shit without thinking. But
so do I. So does Trump. The difference is, I feel like Elon's pushing us in the right direction. I mean, fuck, he released all the patents to all the Tesla batteries and shit like that.
He means what he says, man. He wants to do stuff.
He's a beast. One last thing I'm going to say before we wrap up, because we're approaching an hour and a half.
Jesus,
so we should wrap up.
Did we cover the stuff that I put down?
Most of it.
Okay. I don't know what else I put on.
There was a couple things I put on there and a couple things you put on there that we did not. No, what I want to say is, I've said this before on the podcast. My kid is all about white rappers. And what I mean by that is he discovered NF. And holy shit, he loves NF. Now, what I've learned about NF is when I first heard him, I was like, holy shit, I really like this dude. He's good. Upon further listen, what I feel is he's only got one flow. He is for fans of the same people that would love old Eminem records and probably very new Eminem records. And another thing is I think he gets a lot of love because he doesn't cuss. And so parents are like cool with their kids listening to it and shit like that. So he was listening to that. He would venture into some Token records, things like that. It was just like a lot of like white rappers. He has found XXX Tentacion. That song, Sad, specifically, and that is his jam.
By the way, that song that he's featured on the Lil Wayne record is actually awesome.
It's a really good song.
Anyway, that's sweet though. I mean, it's weird.
It's just crazy the way kids like are discovering this music, and like it's a lot of music that I don't know, us old folk would maybe have a hard time getting into some of it.
And you came close to it in our conversation about Billie Eilish, is for us old folk.
Which, by the way, can we just talk about how I called her Billie Eilish or something, and you hit me with an okay boomer?
Yeah.
All right.
That was funny.
Well,
you're like, I don't get this Billie Eilish.
My kid called her Billie Irish, so it's not just me.
But with this, excuse me, burping. I am not a huge fan of this.
I'm not a huge fan either. It's drinkable though.
Yeah, it's fine. It just as I'm drinking it, I'm liking it less. Won't stop me from drinking it.
No, I'm a big fan of it. I didn't notice it at the beginning, but the gold pop tab on top is like a beautiful touch to this.
It's definitely pea colored.
Yeah.
But with this Gen Z music, that's what it is.
It is
the emo rap,
choker chains that are iced out,
the fucking, all that stuff. We're in a post genre world, and that is the most fascinating thing to me. Is that everything is just going like this. I mean, listen to the new Code Orange song. Everything is just genres. Genres are just going like this.
I won't.
They're just going like this. You know what I mean? And I think it's awesome. But I do have a hard time getting it because I like genres.
Yeah.
But
and that used to bother me like when I was younger, and people would be like, why do you have to like put me into a box? Like, why am I a genre? Why is it this? Why is it that? And that always bugged me because I'm like, you don't walk in the fucking supermarket and just see food and drink and have to eat through 100 boxes of food to find the food you like. That's why categories and labels exist, because you want to walk in and you want to go to a specific area of food and consume that food. You don't want to eat through it all. So I've always subscribed to you need labels. Now, there's a level that I get to where it's like you understand all the labeling much, much more robustly than I do as far as like metal and shit like that. You're like, yeah,
I'm
dude,
so proud.
Bro, it's like funeral doom and I'm like, what the fuck is that?
So proud.
I stop at doom.
I'm so proud of my knowledge.
When there is... Yeah. Anyway. So yeah, I get what you're saying.
That was very sarcastic. I'm not that proud of it, to be honest with you.
And I don't hate you, even though I came off kind of aggressive towards you. It's interesting the way people find music though. And like, I hear him listening to things and I'm like, this is cool. I feel like this is what I was doing on fucking Napster and LimeWire and mp3.com. It's the same kind of thing. Yeah. It's just so much easier for people to find it nowadays, which is cool.
Yeah, it is interesting. Like Beatrice will take our kids are allowed to listen to music when they go to bed, and but when I'm going to bed, I'll stop in her room and I'll pause her iPad, Spotify on her iPad, and there's like this is music that I've never heard before. Don't know what it is. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
This is like. It's just so weird. It's so weird, but it's like so cool in that regard. And it is also weird. And I think we're going to see more and more of this, obviously, as guys our age have families, is like my kids really don't want much to do with heavy music. And it's just so funny because like growing up, like we were the outcasts. Yeah. We were like, oh, my parents are hiding my Korn CDs or whatever. And it's just like now growing up, it's like, no, I'm like fucking listening to some fucking guy growl about disemboweling somebody and my kids don't give a fuck. It's just like, oh, I want to go listen to whatever fucking beat drop or you know.
Yeah, it's fine. No, my kid was on that for a while. Like he liked it when it sounded like fucking robots were fighting. Like he was real into that. And actually before the NF and the white rap thing, he liked 21 Pilots a lot.
Yeah, you told me that.
Which in a way is just different white rap. It's just more white rap. But they would go into like, and he liked Panic at the Disco because it had a lot of like weird dance noises. He fucks with the dubstep too, I guess. Anyway, my daughter is going to be the metal person, I think.
You know, honestly, if any of my kids are into it, it's going to be me too.
Yeah, she like when heavy music comes on, she just inherently knows what to do and will just start like headbanging and shit.
The other day we were driving in my Jeep, and so there's no radio, and B and I were talking, just the two of us were driving, and I was bugging her by singing something.
Mm-hmm.
And because we had just watched The Lion King, the new one, and so because I know all the songs obviously, and I was singing.
Obviously.
Oh, I guess I should no. Yeah, I just love The Lion King.
You said I know all the songs. Obviously,
I'm the oldest of four, and so I don't think there's a movie in my life that I've seen more than that movie. I have it memorized, and actually, we should talk about that next week because a lot of shit bugged me about that movie, but I actually really liked it. Anyway, I was singing the songs really loud and it was bugging the shit out of her. And she was like, you got to stop, Dad. You're being so annoying. And I was like, okay, how can I annoy her more? And I was like, what if I looked at her, I was like, B, what if when I talked, I only sounded like I did in my band? And then for the next like 3 minutes, I was literally screaming like I was on a record. It was so funny. I was like, we're going to McDonald's.
My party trick that I taught my daughter is I say, do your metal voice. And she goes, yeah. Like, that's what happens. Now I've got it to where I can say, do your metal voice if it's like my metal friends. Or I say, do your monster voice if it's,
your
anybody
horror
else.
movie friends.
Nah, it's more like, it's just a party trick.
I see what you're saying.
It's just like my party trick. Or like, what's another one? I told her, I say, squad, and she goes, squad. And I say, gang, gang, and she goes, gang, gang. So,
Bad Dad Club.
All right, with that, I think we're going to wrap up. We're at an hour and a half. I got some really cool news. What's happening tomorrow? Not going to share it here. I just don't want to put any bad jujus into the air, but fun news to share next week. And I think we'll also have a guest. So, what was this, 42?
42.
Episode 42. We're off this bitch.
It's the meaning of life.
What, 42?
You're not a dork like me.
Oh my, is this some fucking nanu shit?
It's from the movie, or it's from the story, The Hitchhiker's Guide to the Galaxy. I just ended this in the lamest way we possibly could.
I have no idea.
That was really dorky.
I have no idea.
There are only a handful of people will understand that one.
All right, well, fucking drop a comment if you understand what the fuck it is. Reply to Collin as he sniffs the mic. All right.
All right.